Gorge.
Wow, look at those claps.
Oh my God, look at us. We finally did it. It took us.
We did it.
I'm sorry, it took us how long? It took us like over an hour.
What time did I come here?
It took about an hour. It took about an hour to figure that shit out.
And we did it.
And here we are.
We're what? Resourceful gay people.
I don't know about all that. But I do think it probably shouldn't have taken us that long. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's fine because you know what? We don't have this behind this camera. There is a team, but just for us.
There's an invisible team.
It's an invisible team.
Yeah.
it's just MUA. It's not a technical team.
The makeup art. Girl, they gotta do a touch up. You're looking a little shiny. You're looking a little shiny, babe. Come on, Mua.
Anyway, should we start?
We should start.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Pioneer Peru,
and I'm Trailblazer Nick, and this is Pioneers and Trailblazers.
The pod.
This has been a long time coming. We have had I would say groundbreaking live show for the past 3 months. Mm-hmm. If you haven't come, you're a loser and you should die.
Yeah, but also come in me.
Speaking of, sorry, let's just get right into it because I'm
right. So the way that we start the show, speaking of relatable content, we always start the show with a little thing called Town Hall in which we like both touch base on what's been happening. But we actually haven't hung out in a bit.
No, we haven't seen each other in, I would say, probably we saw each other yesterday, which was like the first time after like 2 weeks.
Yes, at an undisclosed location, which we will not be talking about.
No, we will not be talking about. We will not be talking about how and where we see each other on a daily basis. But we both were on vacation. I was on vacation first. I spent a week back home with my family in Wisconsin on the Northwoods.
Wow. And I spent a week in vacation getting other kinds of family inserted in me.
You were having children.
I was having children, and I was having abortions by choice. Anal abortions. If anyone has ever heard of an anal abortion, I will tell you all about it.
Is that just when you push it out?
Yes, an anal abortion.
Right, okay, cool.
That's in the dictionary, anal abortion, when you push out the cum.
I would love Merriam-Webster to interview you about this.
Listen, they did bootylicious. What's another word?
Did they do bootylicious?
Yes, bootylicious is in the dictionary.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
Destiny's Child's Impact.
Wait. Okay, so since yours happened before me, so what you went to?
Okay. Well, I want to kind of just preface and say before I left to go home, when I go home, there isn't a whole lot of options for dick when I go there, and I love sex. Okay, like I love
famously.
Dick. I love like kissing it, touching it, doing all the kind of things that you could possibly do.
I like singing to it too.
There was one time, did I tell you this? One time, and it did not go over well. It did not go over well at all. But there was a man, and I was going down on him.
A man?
Listen, there are non-binaries that I have too. Okay. But I was going down on him, and there was a moment where I tapped the head of his penis, and I went, testing this thing on. And he did not live for that. He actually told me to stop.
Is this a rooftop guy?
No. This was like years ago. Rooftop guy was like a month ago.
It was like 2 months ago.
No, girl, it was like July 4th. Oh, actually, it was almost 2 months ago, yeah.
But famously.
Okay, but back to the point. So I have recently discovered the app.
We're also drinking.
No, I recently discovered the app Sniffies. Because a coworker did show it to me, and for those who don't know, it's like it's the whole point is like you have anonymous like encounters with people.
Yeah, like we're not already having anonymous encounters on the other apps.
No. But I would say like there is like a level to it that is like a little bit more instant. It's like people who are looking to fuck right now, and
same.
Yeah. And so it's like the
Grindr, Tinder, Hinge,
right.
OkCupid, Instagram, Facebook.
There's something about it that is just like a little bit more. I don't know, it's like quicker. So I recently discovered it, and I had never met up with anybody off of it. Mm-hmm. And then I met up with somebody. It wasn't bad. It was just like I spent way too much time with him. And then I left on a Friday to go home to visit family. And the day before, Thursday, I worked that evening until 11. And my flight the next day, I had to be at the airport at 5 a.m.
Which I love.
Famously, it is probably one of my favorite things to do is to go to the airport at the ass crack of fucking dawn.
I'm not even joking. I prefer to get on the plane and get it done as quickly as possible. Because I feel like once I get off the
my
plane
God, I
and it's
hate
like
air travel.
Well, the thing is, like, once you get off the plane and it's 9 a.m. and you're like, I've already traversed the sky.
Yeah, but
I've
then
traversed, and then you get off the plane and you're like, you have the full day ahead.
no, because if you're like me, you have a connecting flight to a smaller airport.
You don't take direct flights?
Girl, there's no direct flights to my hometown.
Oh.
Girl,
There's not?
No! That's what happens when you live in bumfuck nowhere. And so...
Wow, trash.
I know, literally. So the night before, I was talking to this guy on Sniffies for about, like, 2 weeks. We were chatting for 2 weeks. He had only... So his profile picture was...
People chat for 2 weeks on Sniffies?
No, literally. Like, I was also not going to, like, just, like, do a random meetup. But ultimately, that's what happened. But we... So we were chatting. His profile picture was just his dick. I liked what I saw, obviously. That's why I was talking to him. And then he hit me up at first. And then I didn't have my face in my profile. I was just kind of, like... It was just my body.
It sounds like most people don't.
No, it's, like, literally all ass and dick. Like, if you go on there, beware. But also, like, check it out. Anyway.
Also, Sniffies, sponsor
No,
us.
literally sponsor, please. It's not sponsored, but please, we would love.
Please.
I think I have to wait until the end of September.
You don't have to see my face.
No, I have to wait till the end of September because I think I have a non-compete deal because there was a different app that I was making videos for. But anyway,
we recall.
We might have to cut this, but but anyway, so
we love them too.
No, we love them.
We love them.
Even though they.
Thank you for the invite.
No, thank you for the invite. Thank you for the invites. Thank you for the parties
Thank
that we love. And so he hit me up and was like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" And I got invited to a mutual friend's party, and I declined to go because I was like, I have to be at the airport at 5 a.m. I got off of work early, and so I was like, oh, I have some time. This man lives literally right next to the train, so he was like, do you want to stop by on your way home? And I was like, you know what, I could do a little before I go. And
again, you're the kind of person who, like, famously does hookups that are like, just slurp, just suck, just cuddle, even just like go get contact lens solution at the Dwayne Reed. But like for me, unless there's no guaranteed like penetration, I am not coming to your place, baby girl.
No, because I can't. I've been in a phase because I famously, for those who know me from TikTok, I have dealt with brag. I'm a social media influencer. No.
And I do have a show coming up in DC Thursday, August 31st. Buy tickets.
Yeah, plug yourself, babe. Yeah, plug the tickets. No, because I like suffer from hemorrhoids very easily. My butthole is very tight. I have to anal train in order before I have sex. I'm not even kidding.
I wish you had them. Oh my god, I wish you could bring them out.
Girl, they're in my room. But like I have to like use these like dildos. They're not even dildos. They're like butt plugs in order to stretch my hole out, in order to like be able to even like the idea of a dick entering, the
idea of it.
Like even like just the idea of it. Like even
some of these guys be having ideas of dicks.
No, and they have many ideas, and let's just be honest, some of the ideas are much bigger than the reality. So then,
some are dreaming big. No, some are dreaming real big.
No, girls, just because you don't have a micro penis does not mean you're hung. Okay, just because you're slightly above average, baby. Oh, that does not mean anything.
Favorite thing, ironically, when a guy's like, I don't know how long my dick is, but I haven't got any complaints. I know how to work it. I'm like, okay, well, let me be your first complaint.
No, sure, yeah.
That was bad.
You're like, actually, now that you bring it up, I am going to be the first 1-star review.
Absolutely. And
just because you brought that up.
Just from looking at it, like, I would rather you give me an honest review of your own penis. Because I'm reviewing it right now, and let me tell you, it's a 1-star review.
No, I'm not interested. So this man, I liked the dick, I liked the body, I liked what we saw. So he invites me over to his apartment. Did I tell you this? I don't think I did tell you this.
No, because
I literally left the next day. So he invites me over. I go over to his apartment. He lives right next to. And I go to his apartment. We're bleeping that.
No, that's just a generic street in fucking New York City.
That is a corner. Yeah. That is a very specific corner.
And you know what? The fucking population density in New York City, there's probably about 500 people there, so it's okay.
No, it's too close to my comfort. We'll bleep. But anyway, so this man, he's like, okay, come up to my apartment. I was like, great. So I go to his apartment. I knock on the door. He opens the door. And tell me why. It is a man that I blocked on Grindr 2 years ago.
Wait, you haven't told me this.
I know. Because it happened right before I left. No, I'm not even fucking joking with you. So he opens the door and I see his face and I go, you're kidding. And he recognized me immediately too because I never sent him my face. And we just stood there for a second and he goes, hi. And I was like, hey.
Wait, but he was also acting like he didn't know. But was he acting? Did he know he was the one that you blocked, or did he have what's?
No. So I think he knew that I blocked him.
Of course.
But he didn't know that I was the person. Like when he hit me up on Sniffies, he didn't know that was me.
Oh, I'm sorry, because you couldn't see each other's faces.
Yeah, that's because the whole point is like anonymous. And so,
and you know what? Oh,
no, and this is why I'm like, I'll never use this app again.
Lessons learned. No. You gotta see the face.
No, and I know, and because the reason I blocked him,
it could be your 8th grade teacher.
The reason I blocked him, it wasn't for like anything horrible. He just like he was kind of weird. The face I wasn't really super attracted to. Which unfortunately, I'm sorry, like it is what it is. And then he
and somebody else could find his face attractive.
No, and that's the thing. It's all relative. It's all subjective.
Yes.
I will say that till the
unless you're really ugly.
No, sometimes the men that I find are really attractive, people will be like, "Are you okay?" Like that's
yeah.
So trust me, like to each their own. But anyway, one man's trash is another treasure.
Or trash.
Right. Sometimes it's just all around trash. But anyway, so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, come in. And I was like,
oh no.
I was like, oh no. So the reason I blocked him was because he was like, kind of, I wasn't super like attracted to his face, but then also he was just like again, not to like really hit that home, but he was just like wouldn't leave me alone. He was just like constantly messaging me, and I like was kind of giving. I'm like I don't try to be rude on apps. Like if you're gonna hit me up and try to talk to me, like I'm gonna be like nice about it, and I'm not gonna be like I'm not interested. Leave me alone.
I don't even do that. If you like message me more than 2 times
I just ignore.
And I don't respond, well, I'll just block.
Oh, well, that's what happened because then he kept messaging me and I just stopped responding, and then he just like kept messaging me. And I was like, sweetie, take the hint.
That's too much.
Didn't get the hint, so blocked. So then I walk into this man's apartment and he welcomes me in, and I was like, okay, I'm really horny, so I'm gonna suck his dick, but I need to do it as quickly as possible. So I
like Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You're like, oh
no, literally. And as soon as I walk in, I'm like, okay, here we go. So we just start. I'm like going at the waistband of his pants, just like going, and he was like, oh, and the whole time I'm like sucking, I'm like jerking myself off, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, 5 minutes into it, I'm like, I'm gonna finish. And he was like, what? Already? And I was like, yeah. And then I finished. And then he was like, whoa. And then I was like, okay, you can finish. And then he like just like jerked off at me. And then he was like,
at you.
No, truly. And then he was like, wow, you came really fast. Like he's like, have you ever done that before from just sucking dick? And I was like, yeah, girl, like all the time. And he was like, oh, were you jerking yourself off? And I was like, yeah. And he thought
that's what I came here for.
But he thought I did it hands-free. I was like, no. He's like,
you should have been like,
he was like, you were so turned on by my dick that you came hands-free. I was like, absolutely not.
You're like, I used both my hands.
I was like, sweetie,
and my feet.
No, sweetie, we were gripping hard.
We were the grip.
Like we were trying real bad. And so then anyway, he finished, and I was like, okay, well that's great. I gotta get going. And then he interrupts me and was like, do you want a drink? And I was like, oh my god.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, like sure, I can do a little nightcap. Like, what is it? And he's like, well,
what time was it?
It was maybe like 10:30.
Oh.
And he was like, okay, what do you want? And I was like, I'll have whatever you're having. This man was like, okay, I'll make a whiskey sour. And then proceeds to then take like 20 minutes making a fucking cocktail for the both of us.
Oh my god.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my god. He brings out the drink, I chug it, because I was like trying to get out of there. And the whole time we were just making awkward small talk, and I could tell that like it just was like, and so I ended up leaving, and then he has hit me up since, but not to like hang out. He just was like, how are you? I was like,
you're like, I'm fine.
I'm like, I'm doing well.
No whiskey sours for me, please.
No, I mean,
thanks.
The dick was really nice, but he was just way too weird. And I want everyone to know that I'm a good person, okay? I'm not just like ignoring him because he's ugly.
You're the Maria Teresa.
The mother.
Is that her name?
Mother Teresa.
Oh,
Mother Teresa,
Maria, a famous Mary in Spanish. Maria.
No. Well, yeah. That's what they call Mary, and
call Maria.
They call her Maria.
And Teresa.
Sure.
That's another Spanish name.
Right. And so then that's what happened to me, and then I went home. I took the pilgrimage home to Wisconsin and had a very fabulous time. Saw my family.
The pilgrimage.
I really like going back home because I do feel really hot and gorgeous because everyone there is, I would say, like 5 degrees uglier.
Right.
And so like you open up like the Grindr grid and it's like, oh, it's all like blank profiles or like old crusty men that are in marriages with women.
Yeah.
Trying to fuck on the side. And then everyone's like, you are the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's an amazing confidence boost. I do recommend.
I mean, it is interesting. I'm not from Houston, but like I spent some time in Houston and West Texas, but I wasn't on Grindr when I was in West Texas. And when I go to Houston, it's like, oh, like I'm in New York when everyone's so hot like us. But going back there, it's like, Mom, it's like there's a lot of hot people in Houston.
Oh, trust me, like,
like,
did I tell you about the guy that fucked me that was from Houston that came to visit like 2 years ago?
Oh, I believe.
Okay, well, this is real quick, and then we'll get to the dick doc. Don't you worry.
Oh, honey, because the stories are stories.
We'll get to the dick doc. But
this is a sex podcast.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, no, there was a guy, summer of 2021. I met. Picture this. Just graduated college. I'm living in my first New York City apartment on my own, because I'd been living in dorms up until then. And
at college, which was what? NYU.
Thank you, $100,000s of dollars in debt. Okay, anyway, so this guy had hit me up on Grindr, no profile picture or anything, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just visiting for like a couple of days," and I was like, "Okay," and he sent me his photos, and this man was hot, like he was like DL, so like whatever you feel about that, but he was like, would love to like come over or whatever, and my roommate was home, but like I kind of got sketch vibes just because like I was like, oh, I can't like find him on Instagram or anything, like he wouldn't like, give me
makes sense.
He wouldn't give me like any information, and so I was like, yeah, you can come over, and I was like, just watch me get murdered. No, the man shows up, hottest man, the sex incredible.
Yeah.
Literally the best dicking I've ever had.
Because they're so repressed and like hidden, you know. They're like taking it at face value.
So repressed. And then he was just like really hot. And then he fucked me. And then I immediately thought he was gonna like leave right afterwards. And then he was like, oh, like he just chilled in my bed and talked with me and was like, so what do you do? And like want to know more about me. And I was like, oh my god. And then we followed each other on Instagram. And still follow each other.
Followers.
And then he was like, I'll hit you up when I return to the city. And I was like, great. And he has yet to return. But we still follow each other on Instagram, so
he'll be a Patreon.
No, he'll be on the Patreon. Or
he'll be a Patreon.
Sweetie, if you're seeing this, just know this hole does have hemorrhoids, but we'll stretch it for you.
It'll bleed for you.
Only you. But that's my Houston experience. But anyway, so that was that, and then I went home, and then it was gorgeous. I went to the woods, and there was no dick there, which was like kind of really nice break. Because
from all the tens of dicks.
No, all the dicks that I'm getting, which isn't even that much because I've been taking like a lot of. I've taken a break from the apps pretty much.
And by that you mean no one's hitting you up.
Don't have to put it that way. No, people are hitting me up. Trust and believe, people are hitting me up. We're getting hit up on the regular. We just are being a little bit more discerning about who we hook up with, which I know probably doesn't seem that way, but we're trying to be.
Yeah, I wasn't.
No, and please, I want to know because that was all this with me. Because then I had a hookup that I kind of told you about yesterday.
Yeah,
that was on Saturday. That was like. It was another Sniffies situation because that's the only thing I've been using because I haven't opened Grindr in like. I
can't get into it.
There's just something. I think it's because
maybe I'll try it for like the content, but
right. I think the only reason I like it so much is because like there's like I don't know. I feel like Grindr, like I've been on Grindr for so long and like I'm more so like I don't know. Like the people that I'm talking to, it feels like a little bit more like there's more investment. In terms of like
the people who don't have to show their face or any other parts of their bodies are absolutely engaged.
Yeah, those are the ones that are like whatever. But I
like tell me about your feelings.
No, or like they like as soon as like you talk about like oh what are you looking for and then it's like oh like
it's like the fucking AOL chat room of fucking apps, Nick. Of course everyone's invested because there's no stakes. No one has to reveal who they really are.
But recently, I've only been getting asked out on dates and like.
On Sniffies?
No, on Grindr. That's why I've taken a break from Grindr because I'm not in a date vibe. Like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I mean, I am. Like, if you're, I am a date vibe. Like, I am. Like, if you want to be like the love of my life, great. But like the ones that have been hitting me up, I'm not interested in. So I'm kind of just like, oh, let me just stay off this app so no one hits me up. But Sniffies, I know what I'm getting when I go in there. I'm like, oh, it's like a supermarket. I'm like, okay, I like that. Let me buy. Let me get. And then
I feel the same about. I mean, honestly, I guess I would have to try it and see how I feel about it. But I'm not really having any issues with Grindr. Thank you very much. Or as far as like dicking goes, like dicking is dicking. Dating wise, that'll be a separate podcast, because if we get there, it'll be sad.
Oh, sad.
Well, no, it'll be good in the fact that I'm getting dates, but sad in the fact that like no one wants to marry me. But you know,
well, if you're getting dates, there's the possibility of marriage if you're going.
Yeah, through breeding. First comes breeding, then comes marriage, then comes the baby in a what?
I don't know. Tree.
In an overly expensive stroller that you take to pastis on Sunday brunch. Bleep. Anyway,
so, get into your trip. Get into your trip. That was my trip.
So my trip, which we would be my town hall, and vis-a-vis, honestly, because I don't even know. Wait, watch us not be recording anymore.
Girl, I would think it would be still recording.
Nope. Oh, is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah, girl.
Okay, great.
She's gonna still record.
I just want to make sure.
She's still recording until you stop.
I just want to make sure. So anyway, my town hall is I went to P-Town, which is Provincetown, for the first time, with a group of gay friends that are
gay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Have they?
Yeah. Did we fuck?
No. Have they met Jesus Christ?
They have.
Would they like to be introduced? I can introduce them.
Jesus came.
Oh, he came to Provincetown?
He was at the
Dick.
So I went there and I had a lot of expectations that were non-related to. I mean, I knew I was gonna hook up, and I was with some friend. Like it's like I haven't been in like. I have like different friend circles. Like obviously, like we're like really close, and like it's a different kind of vibe.
Are we?
Yeah.
No. I want to put on the record. Actually, no.
Famously,
I just want to put on the record that when was this? How many months ago? It was like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It was like there was a moment where Miss Peru comes up to me and she goes, "You know, I'm really glad we're friends," and I was like, "Girl, me too." And she was like, "Yeah, like it's great that we're friends now. Like we're really good friends. Like we're just starting to be good friends."
You're quoting it wrong. Because it was one of those things where I was like, I'm so glad. Look at us, like we're actual friends and we're so close.
And I was like, I thought we have been.
Yeah, but like I think whatever. You know what? We'll discuss our friendship.
No, and this is the thing, and I just want to put on the record. This has happened to me multiple times. I've had multiple instances where I thought I was friends with the person way before they considered me a friend.
I think we were like, I mean, with me, like I just like the word love in America, which I've talked about in my show. Like people throw the word, I love this, I love that, I love this person, and I'm like, you barely met them. Like you've been friends for a week. So like when we first originally met, like I just thought of you as an acquaintance,
sure.
And like maybe you already thought of me as a friend, but like I didn't.
See, well, and the thing is like when I like when it comes to friendships, like if I click with somebody, like we clicked in a way where like I don't know, it felt very like easy, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like we click like we're friends. Yeah. Versus like other people have, especially when it comes to like work specifically, I like have people like try to be friendly with me, and I'm like,
yeah.
I like spending time with you, or like I like chatting with you, but like not more than what we're doing now, you know? And I think like as soon as I like find somebody that I'm like, oh, I kind of click with them, I'm like, they're my friend.
Yeah. I mean, for me, friendship equates like how many times we've hung out like outside of wherever space we're at, you know, like work or like, you know, like a soccer team, which I'm never a part of. But
I played soccer in elementary school.
Anyway, so when there, and this is like it was like my first trip with this group of gays who like I've, you know, gotten pretty close with too, like this past year, I guess you would say. And so when they drove up there, it was great. It was a whole, you know, experience. Why are you laughing already?
No, I'm just like preparing myself for what I'm about to hear because I know it's gonna be crazy.
Because it was like, listen, it was like, you know, crossroads with 5 gays, and like, you know, like I'm the kind of person that like.
Thanks for the invite, by the way.
No. It's a different circle.
Right.
But this is I mean, and honestly, I don't think you would have thrived there much.
Why?
As far as like, just because you're kind of like our other friend Thomas, who like sometimes like these like gay routine or like gay group activities. Like it resembles like the girlies, the white girlies who are just like, all right, trip, let's all dress in this and let's all do that. And like it's the same kind of vibe. And like I was really into it. I was like, I haven't had this kind of like friendship with like a group of gay men where everyone's like down for the count. Like everyone's wanting to do the outfits and like let's plan our like 90s look, let's do the Power Rangers, like let's
themed outfits for every day.
Yeah, so we went there for Carnival Week in P-Town, which is pretty well known. In other instances, I guess P-Town would be known where like the older gays went there to settle or like buy their house or whatever. But there were so many daddies there. But
you're telling me I wouldn't like it?
No, but here it was like Pride here in New York City. All the people who could afford traveling, which I don't know how I went there, were able to commute over to P-Town for Carnival Week. So the entire week, starting on like the day that we got there, it's like the launch of the Carnival Week, and then every day there's like a ticketed event. And then there's this place called the Boat Slip, which is like the staple place where everyone congregates to start off their night. So the Boat Slip is a resort and dock that has like a huge dock like overlooking the sea, and it's beautiful. And like we lucked out with like some good weather for like a few days only, but it was good. And all the gays go there starting at 4 p.m. From 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. is a tea dance. So the tea dance happens daily. You get your tea dance pass, cash only, $60.
It's $60 a day?
No, yeah, a day. For sure, it's a day. No, $60 for a week pass.
Got it.
Which is great. So you don't have to pay your entrance every day. They like give you the little punchy, and like they punch you every day when you get there. And then they sell this like staple drink there called the Planter's Punch.
How much was the drink?
The drink was $16.
16?
Yes.
For every drink?
Not every drink. The Planter's Punch, which is like their specialty cocktail. But here's the catch: the Planter's Punch is 3 types of alcohol, with some grenadine, pineapple juice, and orange juice and whatever, and then like they top it off with more alcohol. It's insane. Like 2 Planters Punches, and mama, knowing
drink I'd be out. I'd be blackout.
One drink you would be already tipsy to drunk.
I would be like holding my ankles, being like, "Who wants it?"
Yeah. And so. Underneath, and so there's parties, there's like a rave, and there's things around town, and I'm not gonna just waste time just telling you the entire thing of the trip because
we want to get to the dirty stuff.
What really happens though is that underneath this dock, clearly it's like this is a dock for like at the beach, right? So underneath the dock,
they be sucking dick.
They be doing that, but it's what they famously know as a dick dock at night. So like every bar in P-Town closes at 1 a.m. So all parties,
early.
Yeah, it's really early. It's like earlier than Boston. But the thing is, like there's so many parties to do. There's so many house parties too. So like the party continues. But then after the bars kind of close, like at around 12:30 to 1, then people start migrating into the dick dock where everyone's like get accione.
Yeah.
And so it was my first time, and so like this is the second night. This is the fucking Sunday. A second night there, and like my friends that was there, they're like, okay, let's drop off Peru at the dick dog, so I wanted to check it out. I was like, I want to check it out.
They just left you?
Well, you don't want to go with like you're not gonna go and dick there with your friends holding fans. Be like, all right, everyone.
I would think that you would maybe like sisterhood, so we'll look out for each other.
It's not that kind of thing. You go there and no one's talking.
Is it dark?
Yes.
Like pitch black?
No. Like you can.
Do you see other people?
You can see them.
Oh, so you were being watched?
I mean, oh yeah, honey, I was hit.
Okay, wait, I don't want to jump the gun.
So, okay, so you get there, you go there, and I was already kind of like Tina Aguilera because I was, I've been drinking. It was inaugural. It was opening night.
She had the punch.
The punch. I got a punch in the face. And so getting there, and I'm like, okay, and it's like within walking distance the Airbnb that we got, so it wasn't far. I was like, okay, we're just gonna walk like. About like 1 block to our Airbnb from the dick dock. We were like in a really nice location, and so I was like, all right, dolls, and they're like, all right, just text us if you need anything, like we'll be home, whatever. So I was like, great. So I go there because again, also I didn't want to bring anyone with me because I want to explore the TikTok by myself.
Did they go to the TikTok on their own?
Yes. Okay. Not all of them. A few of them.
Wait,
you
who
could say.
didn't go to the TikTok?
Well, I'm not gonna say, but
I want to know. Okay, I want to know.
No, but I'm not. No, I'm not gonna say anyone's names because I love my friends. But so I go down there, and this story has nothing to do with them either. Go down there. So my suspicion was like, okay, maybe people come to the TikTok are gonna be the ones that can't really get laid or can get invited to like the orgies or like the fives, which I did go to too. Invited, famously, in the afternoon before tea dance, mind you. One that went from a 3-top to a 5-top, and then watched that famously topped for 40 seconds, which we could talk about.
Okay, wait. I have questions. Okay, the first
yeah.
question is, where did they invite you from?
Grindr and in person.
Okay. It's more impressive if it's all in person.
The one was in person, one was Grindr, but this is all happening in the afternoon, and like it's not like
you're not special. You're not special.
One was in person, okay?
No.
One was in person.
Okay.
Okay, so you go down there, and I was like, okay, let me just walk by to see, because like I don't want it to just be a bunch of uggos. Again, subjective.
It's all subjective. Sorry, beauty is subjective.
Yeah, but all the ugly people. I was like, okay, I want it to be.
Do you want to know who I think is ugly? And this person is conventionally. I'm not attracted to. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Who?
I'm not attracted to Timothy Chalamet, and everyone thinks he's the hottest thing alive.
Well, I see the appeal that he has with others, but I don't feel like he's hot. But I see how people think he's attractive.
Again, subjective.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's different though. There's like different types of attractiveness, whereas some people are just ugly.
And that's the beauty of plastic surgery.
And that's the surgery. If you can afford it, get it. Okay.
Again, joke.
So the dock is so long that like
the dock is so
long. But I started realizing how it works. So here's the breakdown. On the outskirts, at the very both entrances of the dock, because you imagine this dock covered like wood panels that hold the dock above the sea in the sand. Picturing it like a boardwalk almost.
Yes,
but it's like wider.
I'm following you.
That's what the dock is, and the boat steps underneath it. So it's really a long passage where you have to go through.
And you all go doing it underneath the dock. Correct?
Of course. Mm-hmm. So the one people on the edge where there's not much traffic are the ones that are like, some would say like people of an older generation, or like the people who are not gifted in the facial department, who are on the outskirts. The ones that are just standing by. What?
Where it's darker?
No, where it's a little brighter actually.
But they're not participating. They're just kind of.
I'm just saying they're there, but they're like not. It's harder for them to get some, if you catch my drift.
Sure. They're not the first pick.
Exactly. So they're just on the
outskirts.
They
weren't picked first during dodgeball.
They were not varsity. They're not varsity. Oh honey.
Oh, they're
varsity.
JV.
Oh, I got MVP. So,
athlete of the week.
Walking through. And I'm like, okay, so I can see, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just a bunch of this kind of people. Maybe it's just gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Mama. It's a marathon of just fucking hot people just by the water underneath this dock. Now, mind you, yeah. My own doxy pep now to make sure that I didn't get an STI, and did I take fucking like 3 times the amount of prep that I usually would take just to make sure that I'm like, okay? Yes. But outside of that, if we're being sex positive, like always, just the idea of like going through it and like literally just all these different types of people, and you can, after you walk through a bit, your eyesight starts adjusting, so you're actually able to see people.
Sure.
So you're just okay. I can actually tell who these people are. You can tell different body types, heights, whatever levels, and I was like. And literally, there's no chatting. It's actually surprisingly quiet. Besides this, so
you just get right to it.
So okay. So start doing some sea sounds, like waves crashing against the. Oh. Oh. Horse? No. What's a horse? No bestiality in the TikTok.
No, that was someone pushing out some cum and there was a little fart. That's what that was.
So you just start walking around, people start touching you, kind of like you would do like at a sex party here, which I have to take you to one. We have to go on just where you can see.
No, I feel like I'm too insecure for that.
No, but you don't have to participate. You can always just go there and watch.
No, but
a lot of people are actually watching. No, but not many participate. Well,
no, and that's the thing. I understand that, but the thing that would make me really want to kill myself was if no one, like, I would go and watch, but I would want someone to like try to like get me to like join, and if no one did.
But it's just like auditioning.
I would end it all.
It's just like auditioning, Nick, because did I not tell you that one time that I was a fucking the Q, R.I.P. I told you this.
Deserved.
No, but fuck you. But I was like hitting stride after stride, and like the more people like wanna like do stuff with you, the more you confident you get. Yeah. And then I remember I saw like the hottest guy there, and I was like, I just got fucked by 3 hot dudes. I'm gonna go up to this guy, and I went up to him. I looked at him, and I started getting on my knees to suck his dick, and he literally just went like, lifted me back up, and just like moved me to the side, and I was like, all right. Got it? That is strike 1.
You're kidding. You're lying.
No. And then I was like, you just have to take it with it,
I would kill myself. I would kill myself if that happened to me. I would never recover from that. Imagine the one time I went to the fucking... Have you ever been to Fishbowl? Does she still exist? I don't know. She's in Midtown. They have a gay night. And when I went, there was a gay night. And did I tell you this story? It was a November. I was a junior in college. Used my fake ID. Slay. And we got in, and... I got there and I was wearing a jacket and it was really hot because it was packed. So I took my jacket off, and as I was taking my jacket off, I made eye contact with a guy on the dance floor. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't trying to flirt, but he thought I was. And he looked at me and he went, no. And I was like, I have to leave. I turned to the group I was with. I was like, we have to go. And they're like, what? Meanwhile, all the other fucking twinks I was with making out with bitches on the dance floor. And I'm standing there being like, I'm sorry. Why can't that happen to me? I just got rejected. I didn't even try. I didn't even try.
I know, but the thing is, like, it's just like with anything, like you just like build the armor with, unless you're sober. But like if you do drinkies, just get a little bit of confidence juice. Get some planches punches, mommy juice, famously, and then just go there, because here's the thing, in these settings too, like someone's gonna want you. Like you're cute, I'm cute, like it's not like you're literally being rejected by everybody.
The thing is, someone may want me, but is it someone I want?
No, of course. And then imagine that you're gonna have to reject somebody who wants you too, and so you're that person to that as well.
And the thing is, I'm bad at doing that in the moment. That's why I sucked that guy's dick from Sniffies.
Yeah. Maybe it's not your setting. But
it might not be.
But you could still go and just watch, Nick. Like you could still just go there and not even touch yourself. Just go in there for the show and just
theater. I'm watching live theater. No gorge. Okay, clap. So get to the dick dog. Get to the.
So we're there. Yeah, you're there. So we're there, and then all you do is you just start like there's like different groups of people. There's people who just connect. They're just like wanting to do one-on-one, in which I started doing that. Yeah. And then once I got more confidence going after like having sex with a couple guys who were cute, I was like, I'm gonna keep walking around by like the bigger groups.
Okay, love.
So I was walking around. Oh my god!
Literally, what you're saying, I don't even remember.
So, sorry, pee break. So walking through. So what you can do is you can walk by and just like start. So like my thing was like, let me just build up my confidence. So.
Right, because you have random people that you're trying to fuck.
Let me just walk by and like see first who are like the individual people who I see who are hot/cute, who may just be standing by. Because a lot of people either I saw a trend that people up against the wall of the dock, there's where like all the group action was happening, and people on this of the side of the front of the dock were like the
watchers.
The wood pillars are, that has the look of the ocean.
The ocean view.
The ocean view, famously. Those were the people who were mostly kind of like either engaging in like one-on-one, threes, or just standing to see cruising, right? And so I was like looking to my left, a lot of group action, and I was like, I don't just want to just burst in that quickly. Like I need to just build up some confidence first. And so I started looking to the right, and as soon as I got to the middle where like all the action was happening, like there was this really cute guy, and I was like, oh my god, his body was delish. He was great. He was really cute. And so we started making out, and so the whole thing.
How old did he look?
He must have been like what, 26, 27?
Oh, you look him young.
Shut up. He's just being stupid.
Okay, cougar.
And you're just gonna troll me, and that's fine, because I am of legal age, and you're just making fun of me for being too young.
Right, of course, that's what I'm doing.
And so
you were the whole thing with this. So you were grooming this 26-year-old?
No, he was grooming me. And so the whole thing with this kind of thing, Nick, and this is a pro tip, write down for the next time I take you to one of these, because you have to get your scroll out.
No, for the viewers who aren't, or the listeners, I just pretended to get a pen and paper and to take notes.
Exactly, yeah. A huge scroll.
So you should have. So you should be laughing. You should be laughing your ass off.
We're really kidding. Okay.
I know. I need to get the mic away from me. It's too close.
So
get away from me.
Get away from me. So the tip is, it's all about the nonverbal. So you hold eye contact for long.
Love being nonverbal.
And then nonverbal is great. No, I'm a very verbal person. And so I go there and I see him. Everyone's their pants are down or they're not wearing any pants.
Right, of course.
And so you just
the Rugrats.
You start the Rugrats. Yeah, I think we're all grown up.
Were they all fully nude, or was it were they wearing shirts?
No one was wearing shirts, Mama. But
so they were all fully nude.
Either, well, everyone. Well, honey, it's P-town. Gays already walk around shirtless.
Right, but they're just chilling under the dock fully naked.
No, what they do is it's just come on, Nick, don't act brand new. So people, when they get hot at
I don't know, I've never been.
When people will they take off their tank tops and put their tank top in the back pocket or tucked into their shorts.
Oh, so they're wearing shorts.
Yeah, or things or speedos, because people may
sure.
come from a pool
I was just curious if they were wearing bottoms.
Yeah, my God. Well, they were wearing the bottoms, and so. My first one was I see that we're vibing, and I was okay, so I got on my knees, good,
to pray,
to pray on the dick, and so sucking, and then of course I was all right, because we're here to fuck, so then I just turned myself around, and then he fucked.
I'm sorry, did you douche before this?
Of course.
Okay, wait, no, I do have a serious question.
Oh, Imodium galore. I forgot my fiber, but my friend there had extra fiber, and then my diet was was good, and then I douched before we went out, so I made sure.
So did you have to douche every morning before you left
Not in the morning, but if I knew, because I didn't do it every day.
You didn't get fucked every day?
I think because I was there Saturday through Friday, so it was 6 days. I had sex four of those days. So
two of them were recovery. One was travel. One day was travel.
One was recovery. Actually, honestly, yeah. Yeah, because on that Monday we had a big dinner at Sal's. Shout out to Sal's. Hi George. Love George. He sent us extra things.
Love George. Never met. Best friend.
And so I knew I didn't want to go to Sal's because they had some delicious Italian foods and I had a delicious.
Oh, so you
carbonara.
were shitting.
So I knew that day I didn't want to have sex. And so I knew that Sunday was my recovery day because I just wanted to eat whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
But then for the following days I did Imodium pill to make sure that I was good. There was no runny eggs.
I've never tried Imodium before.
I mean, a lot of the porn stars do it, and it's not something that I do always. Usually, I'm just good with fiber and douching. Yeah. But the thing with Imodium is, it's obviously the antithesis or whatever. Antithesis. I'm not from America. To
really?
Wax, which is if you're constipated, you take it to loosen up your bowels. But Imodium is the opposite. If you're
tightens it up.
It ties it up. Yeah. So then if you really want to make sure people who are engaging in continuous porn stars do,
sure,
or content creators in the sex industry, then they do that.
And the hard work that you put in, girl, it does not go unnoticed. It does not go unnoticed, baby. We appreciate.
So just the gist of it all is so I started with just some solo work and it was good. And then once built up my confidence and those plantar punches were really kicking in from the party before and everything, I was let me just throw myself into some of these group scenarios. And I would just go there, and some were just not interested. Some were just really engaged in doing their thing, and I would try to engage, and they were just not interested. And I was okay, cool. And now, because the thing is there's no spotlight, it's a fucking dig doc, no one's gonna be nah, because
sure.
There's other people who are on the outskirts of this doc, not even getting any engagement. So I was you know what, I've taken rejection. I almost made it to a CBS fucking show, and I made it through a fucking screen test, and I didn't get cast, and I know what that feels like, okay? So I was moving on. Continue on. Next one. Oh, these 3 hot guys, fucking muscle daddies, wanted to fucking pound my ass. And I was okay, perfect. I started with one. The other one started right ahead. And by then, I was loose. Let loose. I said let loose. So and by the way, Nick, my first night at the Dick Doc, no poppers. I forgot my poppers.
You forgot your poppers?
Yeah. My second night of TikTok, The Return.
Sure.
I have a poppers.
The sequel.
The sequel. And I have poppers. But anyway, so it's definitely, but the real part of my story is that I finished with a group of 2 guys who were like really cute, and actually one of them famously, as he was pounding me, was like, "Can I come in you?" And I was like,
because he tweeted it afterwards. Yeah. That's why it's famous. Everybody, it went viral.
Everyone knows. He was
viral
like fucking me, and he was like, "It went viral." Not on me. Prep, Truvada.
Thank you, pharmaceutical industry. Thank you, Gilead. Thank you. Actually, no, not thank you. You fucking ruined my life. Anyway, continue.
Thank you. So he was like, "Can I come in you?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" But also,
I would have said yes too. Unfortunately,
no. But also, 5 to 10 other people had already come in me already.
You're like, what's another one?
So I was like, okay. And it was so funny because, well, not that. I mean, well, anyway, but so, I leave. Pull up my shorts, and here's the thing that happened when I went there. I went there thinking I need my phone and my wallet, just in case. I don't know why. I just thought I need my phone and my wallet to bring it, and I left my fanny pack at home that day. So I'm walking back because I told you it was within walking distance. My place, my Airbnb. It's like 2:30 a.m. Walk back. I spent like a good hour and a half with TikTok.
Oh my god, an hour and a half.
I know. I'm a fucking porn star. Only the TikTok for no money.
Yeah, for no money. You do that shit for free. Yeah. You're like, I'm
freelancing.
Emphasis on the free.
Walk over, and I was like, oh my god, I want to like text and see who's up. I want to like pull up my Instagram. Could not find my phone. I had lost my phone at the TikTok.
Girl, that is so embarrassing. Girl,
my wallet was still there. And so in a drunk case,
how did you lose your phone and not your wallet? I'm so...
Exactly. Because I was pulling down my fucking, like, the Daisy Duke so much that I guess at some point they just, like, my phone just fell. But my wallet was... I was actually thankful my wallet didn't lose. Didn't let loose. I said let loose. But...
Love that.
But... I was glad that didn't happen because that would have been worse, right? Like my ID, my boat slip, weekly pass.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. You would have paid $60 again.
Credit card, boat slip, daily pass, the essentials. So like with my wallet, with my phone, I was like, okay, it is expensive to get a new phone, but like, I can recover all that. But then, and at this point, I was kind of drunk, so I was like, let me
kinda.
Yeah. So let me run back. I walked by the TikTok, literally like Speedy Gonzalez.
Everyone's like, this fucking bitch.
And that's how I left. And like, there's no way I can look. I was kind of like freaking out, like this.
You're interrupting people while they're like, you're like, I'm so sorry. Have you seen my phone? Can I borrow your flashlight really quick?
No, which I didn't do.
Can you imagine at the TikTok flashing your flashlight at people? Just be like, and everyone's like,
yeah, TikTok live.
Like just Facebook live.
So then I have to walk back, and I was like, I need help. I have the best friends that it was basically 3 a.m. I get there and I wake everybody up. Like everyone's sleeping.
I would have killed you.
And I was like,
I would have been like, how fucking dare you?
I'm not even like yelling. I mean, I did wake everyone up individually, but it wasn't like I went there and I turned the lights on and I was like, everyone help me. I just went there and like unceremoniously went up to everyone like at the couch and I was like, hey. I was like, hey, help me. I was like, please, someone, please. And they're like, what? And so, good thing we share our locations.
Oh, so you found it.
One of them found that my location, it was still in TikTok. So I was like, oh my God, let's go. But everyone's like literally either drunk sleeping or fast asleep. Shout out to Tommy, whose birthday's today is actually. Tommy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tommy. How old?
Tommy's the best. Doesn't matter how old he is. Well, you're fucking an ageist bitch. You care about age way more than you should be.
No, I just want to celebrate because you've been on this earth for how many years? You've had many trips around the sun.
For a good amount of time.
Want to celebrate.
And so I didn't want to go off. So everyone who's listening to this, I have our alarm set for the story for a certain amount of time, but I'm extending the story time.
Oh, okay. She does have somewhere to be, so she does have to. She has to wrap it up.
Yeah. But so Tommy is like, I'll come with you and help you find it, and so drag Tommy's ass out of the fucking Airbnb to walk back to the TikTok, which I already walked. And mind
that's really nice.
Tommy's in a relationship, so he didn't go to the TikTok because he's dating somebody who was with us, and
they're monog.
What? They're
Monog. Oh, wait, literally dream.
They're so cute.
Literally the dream.
Somebody who would not be there came back with me to the dick dog to try and look for my phone. I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess he was just really trying to be a good friend.
No, that's like an ally.
A very big ally. And also, like, he's literally seeing people get fucked left and right. And I'm just like, yeah, I was here, and I was there.
Like, I was getting fucked there, so it could be there. I was getting double penetrated over there. 5 loads, no loads refused over there.
Refused the loads. Couldn't find it, obviously. It's pipe dream, right? It's like there's no way we're gonna find it. So it's too late. We're like, Peru, like we know it's here, and we doubt anyone's gonna take it. It's Provincetown, and so let's just go to bed, wake up, and see if it's still there
in the morning.
Right? Wake up, the phone
gone,
had moved, different location.
You're kidding.
It was this whole debacle that morning because the phone's last seen location before it died obviously was at 5:45 a.m. So it got moved at 5:45 a.m. to a different location, and then it died because when I tried calling it, I couldn't get through. So then, long story short, the next day was a whole morning with my friend John and Robert. We walked over to where we could see the location was. We walked for a good 20 minutes to find the residential area where it was. Stopped by the police station. It wasn't there. We even created a fake Grindr profile with a picture of me holding my phone.
Have you seen this phone?
Lost phone.
Stop.
Yes. And when we post this, I'll repost the fucking Grindr image because I have it.
And was that how you found it?
No. So I started knocking on doors. I'm delirious. I was like, people are going to help me.
Just random houses?
Because it was in this one block. So I was like, I'm just going to start knocking on everyone's fucking block.
You're like, hello.
This one woman, and everyone in Provincetown is an ally. Like everyone's there's just, and this one woman, in her 40s or something, she was like, tatted up. Mom vibes, and I was like, I'm so sorry to knock on your door, but I feel like my phone was somewhere in this vicinity and I lost it last night. Did not disclose how I lost it. It's just,
girl, she knows.
She was being so helpful. She was like, it says it's over here. Well, I didn't get busy. Jimmy calls her husband over, calls her 2 kids, questions them about the phone. Like all these kids are like, who is this person? They have trans flags out of the house. Like the nicest people ever. Try to help me find my phone. And I was like, it's okay. Like, I'm so sorry. At one point, I was just like, wait, what if I'm outing somebody, What if somebody that was a dick dog grabbed my phone and they're married with kids, Imagine that. And I'm just like, hi, I'm sorry, but it says here that
2023. I don't in Provincetown, I doubt it.
Yeah, I know. But then, longer story short, we ended up finding out that that location where the phone was last seen, conveniently enough, was where the pedicab drivers drop off their pedicabs, and we went to the inside part where all the pedicabs park, and then our other friend calls, and they were like, "Did you see that Peru's phone moved again?" And we're like, what? Because we've been calling it. So somebody had finally charged it, and it got moved location. Call this person. The person was like, hello? I was like, hi, I'm so sorry. I feel like you have my phone. He was like, great, I'm on this street. We go over there. We're like, hi, we're here. Thank you so much for you. I really appreciate it. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to take a shower real quick. Takes a shower while we're waiting outside for the phone. The confidence this person has. Mama.
Did you suck his dick? Did you fuck him?
Girl. The pedicab driver comes out. Only shorts, underwear basically. Dripping wet still from his shower. Shirtless. Hot as fuck. And I'm just like, oh. I'm still not clocking it, right? And I'm like, oh my God. Thank you so much. And then he's like, he smiles at me. He's like, hey. And I'm like, hi. He's like, you don't remember?
Did you fuck him? You fucked him? You fucked him? You fucked him? Stop!
But it was this whole thing where he was at the fucking dick dog getting dicked, no, dicking me. To then, I guess go back on his pedicab because he was like, yeah, I always wait for all the customers to leave the dock because it's traffic.
Of course.
They want to make
money.
their point thought.
Yeah.
So everyone's leaving the dick dog at 4 a.m, I guess, and they're making their business trips on the pedicab thing. And he was like, and I was on my pedicab, and then I saw it was just kind of shady. I don't even know if he grabbed it or he saw it or somebody else grabbed it, but whatever. And then he was like, yeah. And so I almost ran over it actually. It was just right there, and I just grabbed it, and then I just took it home with me, and then I just finally charged it because it makes sense. He was working till very very early hours in the morning that slept till like 12:31 p.m. when I finally got my phone back. It was this whole thing. So honestly,
did you suck his dick again?
No. And then I was like, well, do you want to trade numbers? And he was like, it's okay. Exactly. Scenic. It happens.
Right, but I don't want it to happen to me.
No, but I was like, totally fine. Great.
No, and that's because you have more life experience. You have more rejections behind you than I.
Girl, looking at your fucking face, you've had rejection, okay? So
yeah, well, actually, we've had rejection in the romantic context, not sexual, because we only fuck ugly guys.
You do.
No, I'm kidding. I don't. If I've had sex with you, you're hot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
Wait, but you top. Wait, can we talk about you topping really quick?
Well, really quickly, I did it twice. Once on my second on the dick jock for an extended period of time, actually, and everyone was watching, and I was like, "Why am I a topping sensation? Like, have they never seen a 5'6" like Latinx person with fucking blonde?"
No, that's a lot of people's fetishes, I would say.
And so I was like, okay. And then the first time before that was when I got invited to a threesome at someone's place near our place. And as I was going there, they were like, the doors open. I go in there. We're fooling around. Then 2 other people show up. And I was like, I wasn't expecting 5 people to be here. And then one of them is that they're 6'2", like hairy muscle jock tall. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. He's going to pound us all.
Oh, bottom.
He comes up to me, starts making out with me. And like there's 2 guys behind me and he's in front of me. The fit's in the bathroom peeing. And I'm just like, I'm looking up. Because I'm short and he's so tall. So, like, I have my arms around him. And, like, I'm like, okay, like, I'm so excited. I'm going to get, like, blasted by this guy. And then he stops making out with me, turns around from me, and literally, like bends over. There's the 2 guys behind me. I'm like, yeah. And so the 2 guys behind me get to each one of my sides. And I'm like, yeah, fuck him. The peer pressure I experienced, I put my dick in this, like, 6 foot.
No.
I was like, yeah, and I did the performance. Meryl Streep did for 45 seconds.
Academy Award,
Emmy and Tony. EGOT.
Honestly, Tony. That would be a Tony Award.
Tony.
That's a Tony Award.
And I was doing it. They were like, yeah, fuck his ass. And this guy's like, huh. And I'm like, I did not expect any of this from you, sir.
No, I don't like that.
And then I was like, okay. Because you're in the fucking, you don't want to kill the vibe, right?
Oh, of course, you're like, you don't want to be the buzzkill because you're like,
yeah. So then I noticed the guys were lining up behind me, and then I quickly was just like, no, I was like, all right. I was like, yeah.
You're like, that was hot.
Yeah. And then the other guy came in, and I was like, yeah. And then right after that, I went to the bed, and I was like, all right. So I just laid down. I was like, this is my position.
For those who are just listening, he did lean back and just throw his legs up in the air. So
I just don't care.
Yeah. That is horrifying. So you only did it for like, what, 40 seconds?
It was about 45 seconds. The guy wanted me to do it again, but then the host, he started taking care of everyone. And then it was my turn. Then I came. And then at that point, I was like just trying to help everyone else come. And then both me and 6'3", 6'5" hairy jock, and I left at the same time. And then I was like trying to make small talk with him outside of this fucking inn. And he was just like, hey, okay, see you later. And he just like left. And I was like, I'm gonna pretend like tying my shoes taking way longer than it should, so you can just walk away. Yeah. And then the guys opened the door back up behind me, and they were like, hey, is this your lube? And I was like, no. They were like, oh, yeah, he forgot his lube. And then I was like, oh.
Free lube.
Okay. No, but then I left, and then the guy started walking back, and I saw him walk back towards the inn. And I was like, forgot your lube? He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, good to see you. I saw him again at the tea dance, like the next day. No.
That's like really beautiful. I think that is a really beautiful...
Yeah.
experience that you'd had.
But honestly, I guess to wrap up the show, I'm gonna say that my pioneer of this first podcast that we're recording,
yes.
My pioneer is gonna be that pedicab driver. The pedicab driver is a pioneer.
And was the sex good with him?
It was.
Or do you not remember?
The thing is, like, I honestly, all I know is that it was by the water. I remember that, and I you know what? It was just a good time, sure, with a plethora of peeps. But he's the main peep, the MVP, most valuable peep. because he just slayed it and he kept my phone and he had the confidence and pioneer trait, characteristical or character trait to have me wait outside while he took a shower when he knew we were out there.
It's actually really funny. That is so funny, actually.
It takes to literally know that we're heading over to you. It took us 20 minutes to get to your place, and you could have.
He wanted to answer the door wet.
He just wanted to just make me wait, and like that is pioneer behavior. So I'm a pioneer of our very first podcast. Nick Rosenthal is the pedicab driver, whose name I do know, and who I did see pedicab driving around town plenty of times after that, and I was just like, hi.
My trailblazer for the week would have to be the man that I saw on the train today, who happened to be really good friends with a man that I
a man
that I had sex with multiple times, did develop feelings for. He then ghosted me for absolutely no reason. Did encounter his good friend on the train today, and that was I think a really beautiful experience. We pretended that, I mean, we had never met before, but like we both looked at each other and we both were like, oh yeah. we know each other, not directly but indirectly. So that is my trailblazer, and I think that's really beautiful and gorgeous, and I think love is real. I just have yet to,
and love wins.
No, love wins. No. The funny thing is, like, love wins, but like not for the people who deserve.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Controversial, but those who have love, some of them don't deserve it.
I'm getting love from everyone, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Go where?
Everywhere.
The love. Where's the love?
Okay, Black Eyed Peas.
Where's the love? Okay. Where is the love?
That was so fun.
It's great. I think, thank you so much. If you have made it to this point, thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for the next one, because this is going to be a regular thing.
Yes. And so we're going to be announcing our next show soon. We're taking a break for the rest of the summer.
Right.
Early fall, just to, like, you know, get some ducks in a row, because we want to make it really special for the Faltina.
And for those who are wondering what the fuck are you talking about, it is our live show, our Pioneers and Trailblazers. Yes. It's a comedy show that is loosely based on the Oregon Trail computer game from the 90s. Mm-hmm. If that's something that interests you, stay tuned to the podcast, and we'll announce.
And honestly, if you don't fucking live in New York City, then just do this, because this is what we need. And honestly, once this is posted, if you've gone this far, fucking like it,
comment, subscribe,
rating is what I hear.
Is that what
is the thing to do?
I have absolutely no idea.
Like, just rate this episode, rate it, give us 5 stars. If there's an option for 6, do it. Actually, here is my call to action for this our premiere episode. Go in the comments, give us 5 stars, and just write, like, if I could give 6, I would, and the reasonings why.
And my call to action is, look in the mirror. If you identify as a hot person,
comment.
Slide into my DMs.
Yeah, no. If for me, I need, like, waist up, and for Nick, he needs waist down.
No. We're gonna start using full body because we need to start seeing face so we don't interact with people that we've blocked. That's very true.
Anyway, follow me on my handles. I'm at Hey Peru on TikTok and Instagram.
And I am at ClownfaceBinge on TikTok. And I'm at Nicholas.Rose on Instagram, or ClownfaceBitch on Twitter.
Oh, and also, if you're listening to this and you liked me and not Nick, I do have a show coming up in Washington, D.C. on Popular Opinions at the Hamilton Hotel. Brian Safi, Maggie Winters, and a third guest to be announced. So, tickets in my bio. And that was it.
Thank you. That's it. That's the end.
See you next week. All right. Love you guys.